Yeah, obviously we're all disappointed in our performance, but at this stage of the season, you see that stuff happening across the country, and we're not going to be, um, you know, unfortunately, we're not going to be any different when you face a very unique style. They took advantage of some of the things that we do well and used it to our disadvantage, and give them credit. They still got to make those shots, and they did. And heading into last week, I think we were number one in the league in defensive field goal percentage, and maybe number 1 or 2 in three-point field goal percentage, playing against some pretty good teams. So we just got to get back, this week now. Play a team in state that we won a very close game with last year. We're going to have to play well, and then a Colgate team coming in that is, I think, 5-1 or 6-1 right now, and is playing extremely well. So at this time of the season, with where we're at, some guys have played 5 college games, and those experiences you have to learn from, and hopefully that we'll learn a lesson from some of the stuff. But getting back on the practice court was important for us. We had a good practice yesterday. We'll have a good one today, and I think we'll be ready to go tomorrow night.
You almost look at the season as like month to month. Like, can we make the progress before we get to December? You got these 2 games before December. Do you kind of feel that way?
Yeah, you break it up into sections. Even with the disappointment of the result, we're a better team. We're continually getting better, which is important. Some guys are starting to really play better as well, which is important. As they get more experience, as they get more accustomed to what we need done for them in their particular role within the system and style that we play. So, this is a big week for us. And then we have finals week. You'll be able to get on the practice court a little more in mid-December through the end of the year, and then you start conference play. So, you have this stretch, and then you have some practices, and then you have a tough stretch where you play 2 out of 3 on the road against teams that are having good years as well. So, we go day by day, as we talk about, our chances today. And to have a better tomorrow, you got to make sure you have a great day today. And I think our guys are, again, it's something that you have to embrace every single day, and you have to talk about every day.
I know you mentioned last year Stetson was close. I think it was a 3-point win for you guys. What do you see a similarity for their team this year to last year?
Well, they put you in tough situations because they do a good job with their length. They're very long. So defensively and offensively, they have a lot of interchangeable parts. So, again, our communication is going to be important. They've struggled to shoot the ball from the 3 so far this year. And last year, they had some guys that could really shoot it. Now, watching them on film, they're getting good shots. The guys who are shooting them have good-looking shots. One of their players yesterday kind of broke out of it, went 4 or 7 from the 3. So, it's the same system style, varying defenses, changing our defenses. So for a younger team, a less experienced team like us, recognizing what defense they're in and attacking it appropriately is going to be a big, big challenge for us.
I remember just watching you guys in Jamaica, and it was like, this team looks so different. This team just feels different, the way you move the ball, everything. Do you stop and you have a chance to maybe look at your coaches and when you're in film or something and say, God, we just look so different, don't we, this year?
Yeah, and then again, it's hard because you want the results.
Yeah.
Even in a poor result, there was things that you watched and saw and said, okay, this is an area that we've dramatically improved in. Not just from last year, but even from last month. So, again, there's progress being made on the court, which is important. And the thing for us in this stage and where we're at is to continue to make progress, stuff that isn't seen as well. And so I think we're on the right track with that. And again, we always talk about, fighting human nature. One of the unnatural things to do is to continue to play hard and to stick to something when maybe you're not getting the results or the playing time or whatever that you want. And that's a characteristic that this team has to have, because what you just have to do is continue to have faith that it's going to happen. And I think our guys have been pretty good about that.
Coach, you talked about your defensive field goal percentage rank. Your team has only allowed one opponent to average 1 point per possession this season. What do you feel has really keyed that for your defense?
Well, I think our ball pressure is much better, and, we have a thing that, be you and align with us. So I say that because both David and LaQuincy have tremendous anticipation defensively. And so they're in the top 2 or 3 in our league in steals. And you can look over my history as a head coach. We've never been a big steal team. But because of their talents, I've given them much more freedom defensively. And I think those guys have thrived in that. Plus, we're a very good defensive rebounding team. An area I think we can improve in, but I still think we're a very good defensive rebounding team. We have guards that rebound. Lex is at around almost 10 a game. But again, they have kind of grasped the concept of gang rebounding. If you look again, I've never had players average 10, 11, 12 rebounds a game because we've had a lot of guys average between 4 and 8 because we're a team rebounding organization, and I think our guys are getting that. So we're forcing more turnovers, we're getting more steals, and we're defensive rebounding. And so when you go to your defensive efficiency, that has a huge, huge impact on that.
Rashawn saw more minutes than he had seen in any games before this season. What are you seeing from him now that maybe you weren't seeing from him at the beginning of the season?
Just growing, it's unfortunate in this day and age, his most important thing is development. And sometimes you lose focus on that. And he hasn't. He's gotten better. So I was just more comfortable in terms of playing a little smaller and having him play that swing position. And I thought he did a good job. It's a challenge because TJ and JB were playing so well and shooting the ball so well and different things like that to even find minutes for some of the younger guys. But again, he's one of those guys that comes to work every single day and has gotten better. And, there'll be different challenges throughout the year. So when his number is called, he has to be ready. And I think he's one of those guys that understands that.
Is he the youngest freshman?
By birth, probably. Yeah, I would think so. And when you think about it, we're inexperienced, but we do have some older guys. David, Justin, Alexis were all post-grad, second-year college students. Only Ray Sean and Xavier are straight out of high school freshmen. So those two are our 2 youngest guys on the team. But, through the first 3 games, he was averaging 12, and TJ was right around 12. I think bringing JB off the bench, giving us an offensive spark is something that I think can really have a positive impact on this team. So, we need him to be aggressive when he comes in the game.
Yeah, he's played so well in the past 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about growth. What's really impressed you with this growth process during that time, the past 4 games?
Well, I think, again, the first thing is, and I've talked about it last year when he was sitting out, is, he plays with a high motor. He plays really hard. And good things happen when you play hard. The second thing is, he's not near the player he's going to be in 3 years because he's going to continue to develop. His game's going to continue to expand. But one of the challenges with young guys is they want to play with that expanded game before they get the expanded game. And he doesn't do that. He is if he's open and he's ready to shoot and it's within the offense, perimeter shots out to the 3, I can live with, okay? But he's not out there proving to everybody that he's a 3-point shooter. You know what I mean? He does the grimy, dirty, gritty work around the basket, offensive rebounds, scores around the basket, makes himself available. The other thing that's starting to happen is we're starting to get a better connection with the guards and the bigs. Some of the passes that we threw in the last game where we're pushing the ball and spread the court and we're able to hit Lex down the middle, we weren't able to do that 3 weeks ago. and so he's a recipient of those guards getting better as well. David obviously is playing much better. Quincy, I think, is second in the league in assists. He's starting to get a better feel for how that position within our system is run. And so the beneficiary of that has been Lex for the most part, because he's the most active and he's got the best grasp of his role at this particular time as well.